Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tyranny. Possibly for the last time, because we are very soon done with this game. There's really only one thing left to do, and that is to go back to Cacophony, confront with the Voices of Nerat, and make him either submit to us, or we simply kill him and take the Scarlet Chorus away from him. One way or another. But before that, there is one more side quest that I want to do, before we end the game, and that is to free Barik from his prison, because I really want to see what Barik looks like under all that armor. And so, in order to do that, we have to go to Tyranny Ruins, which is this place here. The very same location where we started the game. The circle is closing, as they say. So we'll go there first, and then we get some of the queens, that big statue's blood, those blood tears from that big statue. So we get that blood, come back here, and then perform some sort of ritual to free Barik from his armor. So without further ado, let's continue with the rest of the game and go for Tyranny Ruins. But something tells me that this is not going to be a piece of cake. There must be something like... You catch a hint of movement in the distance, little more than a shiver of shadow among the remnants of a village that clings to the edge of a pillar stone. You remain far from both Halfgate and Cacophony, so it seems unlikely that settlers or soldiers lurk among the ruins. Perhaps scavengers, raiders, or a rogue pack of beastmen have made the crumbling buildings their home. Well, you know what, I don't really care about these encounters at this point. But anyway, so... I would be surprised if there's going to be some sort of leftover renegade Vendrian guard patrol there, guarding that statue, which we see in the loading screen right here. We are going to take some of that blood that she's crying out of her eyes. Let's see, collect blood from the statue of Queen Siperos. Oh, there's Bane instead. Well, Shadow Wisps, but yeah, they are all Bane all the same. Didn't think that this was going to be easy. But I really don't feel like playing around with those guys. Let's see if I can...
Another...
Never mind. Well, I should have used stealth, of course, but didn't really think about that. Okay, so... Let's take care of these guys quickly. Wait, are these... Yeah, these guys are immune to fire, so Eternal Flame is not gonna do a damn thing. That's a shame.
I will aid you.
Well, luckily these guys are no match to us. This is very easy.
New dent. Come back and face me. I will aid you.
Come on, stop being scared. We just beat Raven Ash not too long ago. These guys should be nothing.
On it. Will do.
Verse, attack something?
I don't think so.
There.
I did cause that mess.
Okay, so no Vendrian guard or any other humans, but just some simple Bane. There's some loot here as well. Might as well pick them up. Okay, Umbral Malice. I think this is the first time we have faced an Umbral Malice. We have faced Malices before,
carrying too much.
Not Umbral Malices, at least I can remember.
Trouble is afoot.
Oh, okay. I aggro them, okay. Attack this, you attack that. This one should not... Yeah, that one is not immune to fire, good. This is not gonna do much, because they deal arcane damage and not physical damage.
Wait.
Well, whatever. Our best defense is being very offensive anyway. Verse, attack this one. Or anything really.
I'm on it.
Like this one here.
Not a problem, boss.
Why has Landry... Oh shit. Why are you there in the front? Give yourself a seat.
Take care of it. It's a hit!
And then go away. Why were you in the front lines? I don't know. That thing is still hurting Landry.
As you command.
Take that!
I learned to run away.
Get back here!
Then damage
I'll
these.
take care of it.
Barik is dealing with that.
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
So let's go and deal with the malice. Can we knock it down?
Can't do that.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if they are immune to knockdowns.
Boss.
Oh, okay, it did work. Nice. Then stun it.
Will do.
At one.
Keep your calm and face my iron!
Now finish it.
Fall before me!
It seems to regenerate health too. All of us are losing health. Maybe it's because of that aura thing that it has. No biggie. Just destroy it quickly. There we go. Okay, more loot. Nothing interesting. Little remains of the small Scarlet Chorus and his favorite camps that once claimed this clearing safe tattered tarps and the reek of old latrines. Tarps. I almost read it as traps.
Right.
Okay, so that's where the blood is. We are gonna take some of that with us. Okay. Leap the gap. With a run-in jump, you may be able to cross the chasm and reach the basin. Barik toss. Command Barik to toss you to the bow. The landing may be a bit rough. Barik bridge. Have Barik bridge the gap with his body. You doubt he will be thrilled with the suggestion. Yeah, I wouldn't be thrilled about that either. But I believe that we can just leap the gap. We got the athletics for that. Shame that they couldn't animate the, you know, the jumps and stuff like that. The characters just disappear and appear and re-disappear and yeah. Okay, so we got the blood, and now we should return back to the mage smith, whatever her name was. Was it Lucentia? Oh, am I just confusing it with the queen's name? Well, whatever. This didn't last very long, thankfully. The pain were ridiculously easy. Okay, back to the secluded forge. Alright, Lucentia. Okay, I did remember it correctly. Here's your blood. Welcome back, Archon. I do believe I espy a barrel of queen's blood. Lucentia looks you up and down, frowning with a mixture of interest and distaste. Oh yeah. I guess she's not too happy about the fact that we are using the last Queen of Apex's blood. Although she's not even part of the Apex, I don't think, but whatever. She helps you roll the barrel into the workshop, and the two of you dump the noisome liquid into a large copper tub. Alright, Barik, into the wet. Trundling over to the basin, Barik places a hand on its lip. He flops heavily into the vat without a word and lies there motionless. Here goes everything. Lucentia mutters and traces a series of luminescent sigils in the air as she circles the top. The hairs on your arms and the back of your neck slowly rise. The vat begins to bubble, and metal grinds against metal as Barik releases a prolonged hiss. The smith puts a hand to one of Barik's sharp spikes and slowly draws it from him as if pulling a blade from its sheath. You barely make out Barik's pained grunt under the workshop's myriad sounds. The shard comes free, with bloody strands of flesh dangling from it. Oh, Jesus. Damn, that's gruesome. Take Barik's hand. Pfft, we are no softies like that. This is just one more battle, son of Barikonen. Stand strong, soldier. I don't know why this is considered subterfuge, but okay. Athletics. Suck it up, Barik. We have just started. You think this mewling would impress Ash? Not that it matters anymore, because Ash is dead. Do nothing. Pitfighter. Give him liquor. Drink up. This is going to hurt. Well, since we got the Pitfighter option, might as well. He hesitates for a moment, then grabs the bottle, tears out the stopper, and tips it back, draining a hefty draught. He nods to you gratefully as the smith continues her work. Foam-crested red liquid sluices between the gaps in Barik's armor, darkening as the grime and filth from his carapace mixes with the blood of Queen and Stone Shield alike. He shudders, his left gauntlet clamped tight over the space left by one of Lucentius's past excisions. Chanting, the smith places a chisel to the side of Barik's helm and knocks on it 3 times with a hammer. Each blow resounds more loudly than the last, and the third is accompanied with a sound like a blade slicing into armor. She places both hands on one of the metal spines crowning Barik's head and begins to pull. He screams. Okay, that seemed to be taking a while. And there he is. The procedure finally reaches its conclusion, and Lucentia slumps against the wall, hair tangled and sweat-soaked, hands and face red with gore. She releases a long, shuddering sigh as the energy in the room slowly dissipates. So that's what Barik looks like. Well, at least he didn't lose too much skin, or his face. Clad only in his small clothes and a thick patina of blood and grime, Barik stands before you. Heavy ropes of matted hair hang before his broken face, and long, twisting scars mar his limbs and torso. He reeks of sweat and feces, the stench coalescing with the heavy smell of gore and iron into a noxious hole. Your stomach turns. Jesus, Barik, I think it's time for you to get a bath. And not in blood. Just go take a bath, please. You okay, Barik? Snap to, soldier. I didn't expect you to be clean, exactly, but wow.
I suppose it's too late to put the armor back on him.
Or he could just take a bath, worse. Never remove your clothes again, Archon. We shall see how clean you remain. The pain will fade in time. Perhaps more time than I am accustomed to, though. He smiles faintly.
Freedom feels raw and cold, but comfortable.
Well, that's good to hear.
Welcome back to the life of the free, you walking pile of... I'll have to dream up some new names for you, won't I? Anyway, put some pants on. I'm tired of looking at your... everything.
Well, he does have a loincloth on.
Now I can actually draft your official portrait for the Chronicle. You have no idea how much this omission has haunted me.
Well, good for you, Lantry. I had to cut this short, but I'm dead on my feet, and there's one last thing we need to settle. Her eyes meet yours. What, you want payment? I'm keeping the alloy we pulled off of him. In exchange, I took the liberty of forging the sample you brought me before into an axe. I hope it's worth of you. Oh. She pulls a long-hafted, bearded axe from the wall and proffers it to you. Its head glimmers in the fan light of the forge. Thank you, Lucentia, for everything. I think not. That metal belongs to Barik, which means it belongs to me. Wait, wasn't she planning to give it to us or what? In exchange, I took the liberty of forging the sample you brought me before into an axe. I hope it's worthy of you. That metal belongs to Barik, which means it belongs to me. So I guess that she wants to keep the axe. I'm sorry, I just got a bit confused here. Oh yeah, you are keeping it. Yeah, okay, it's just... I'm so dumb sometimes. But, Well, Barik has got Graven Ash's mace, hammer, mallet, whatever. So it's okay. Thank you, Lucentia, for everything. You can keep it. You have gained favor with Stonesy villagers. When we get Edic's Crescent, whatever that is, it's not the axe or anything. It was my honor, Archon. She placed the axe into your hands. It bristles with energy, a spark leaping from its curved blade. What? So you are giving me the axe? Wait a minute. Oh, you meant the... Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, so she wants to keep the alloy she pulled off of him. And in exchange she gave us the axe. Okay, okay. I'm so dumb sometimes. Well, thank you, Lucentia, regardless. I would wish you safe journeys if I thought it would do any good. So try to stay alive out there. Oh my god, look at Barik. He looks like a bum. Jesus Christ. Now I guess we have to get some armor for you. Look at that. Damn. And there's even a disfavored symbol carved to his chest. That's kinda hardcore. Well, better give you something, I guess. Just take that. Oh, look at that, he's a freaking barbarian. And just use that too, why not? Why is all of that green? Hey, wait, look at that. Barik got a red eye and a blue eye. Just like Verse. A red eye and a blue eye. Siblings, folks. Okay, so... Okay, maybe I should give you some heavy armor instead. Let's see. Well, which one looks better? Well, that looks kind of dumb. Okay, that's very green. I like this. I like this. I like the look of this the best. Okay, but what do we have in stash? I guess I could give him iron boots. And I don't seem to have much anything else here. Okay. What did this do? Control stone. I guess I could give him some haste too. Wait, where is it? I guess there was no room. Ah, there. There we go. And then a helmet would be nice, I guess, but I don't think I have any helmets to give you, I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, but I guess we should have a little chat with Barik now. He still hasn't thanked us yet. Barik fear. Barik turns to face you, nodding silently. A short sigh escapes as he waits for you to speak.
What can I do for you?
Tell me about this favor, now that we have slaughtered every single one of them. You don't like me very much, do you? Loyalty too. Your deeds have earned you a measure of respect in my eyes, but do not mistake my approval for admiration. The question is irrelevant. Your support of the Voice of Nerat makes you an enemy of Craven Ash, which doesn't matter because he's dead, and no friend of mine. I cling to our allegiance in hope that it will end the war and bring dignity to the disfavored. Okay. Yes, we can't really ask him. We can't really ask him more about his that how does it feel like to be out of his armor? You still haven't thanked us either. Well, for some reason I didn't expect him to. Okay. But now we are done here, so let's go back to our... Might as well go to Dawninspire. I think the blacksmith shop was here. Oh wait. We have got... Oh wait, was it... Oh yeah, it was the Aurora Spire that we got here. Not the dawning one. Not in this playthrough, unfortunately. Along the road towards your destination, the road crosses a small river at a tall, arches bridge. Turquoise water cascades down a three-tiered fall, driving a musty smell of algae into the air. I don't know what algae is, where it minces with lilac and sage. I had almost forgotten what good smells like. Verse Mother's eyeing Barik. She sidles closer to you. Hey Binder, you know what would be a real service to the Overlord? Get in Rust Bucket over there to take a fucking bath already. She pinches the bridge of her nose. It's been literal years since his last. Well, okay. Normally I was about to just ignore this, but you know what? Let's give Barik a bath. He's had a rough time. And it's been literally years since his last one. The cool, crisp scent contrasts sharply with the sour stench of filth emanating from your disfavored companion. You're not sure when Barik last bathed, but you doubt that it was at all recent. Order Barik into the water. You call for a break for refreshment, taking Barik aside. You inform him in a low but commanding tone to get into the water and see to his cleanliness. His reek has begun to hamper morale. Well, I won't go that far, but... Barik, Fear 3. Of course, Archon, as you will it. Even as he blushes, Barik's hand clasps to his chest in salute, and he trudges off in a search of privacy. When he returns, it is without the odor that had become as constant a companion to him as his twisted armor shell. And we got Joyful buff, plus 20 accuracy when above 75% health, and Barik even went to shave his hair and beard. Refreshed. Minus 20% recovery time, that's pretty damn good. If only Landry would have gotten that buff as well. That would be so OP. Okay, let's take another quick look at Barik, now that he has bathed and shaved. Not bad. Not bad at all, Barik. Thank God the ritual didn't do any real damage to your face. Now I'm just comparing that, if these two look very much alike. They are half siblings after all. Well, besides the same colored eyes, they also have they also have scars on their faces as well. That's kinda cute in a way. But yeah, Barik, not bad. Not bad at all. Looking good. Now, go out there and get some women. You have been living in celibacy for... what? At least over a year. Maybe even 2 years. But anyway, now, before we go to Cacophony and confront with the Voices of Nerat, I think I want to take different party members with me. I'm gonna at least leave Barik here. And I would love to take... I think I'm gonna take Sirin with me at least. Because I bet for anything that Sirin would love to see the Voice of Nerat gone. So I'm gonna take her with me. Verse is gonna come with me as well, obviously, because she also wants to see the Voice of Nerat getting his ass kicked. And Lantry, I don't want to leave Lantry behind for obvious reasons. Unless maybe I could take Eb and make her as my support, because we got this staff. Where is it? We got this staff here. It gives Sigil of Life plus 10 control life. So maybe we can make her into a healer. Not as effective as Lantry, because Lantry still got the Life of Seal or whatever it was called. I just call it a seal, and then that others. And then a couple of other very useful support healing spells. Well, let's give it a shot. So first of all, Sirin.
Hello, Fatebinder.
Sirin greets you quietly, face drawn. Her countenance presents a world-weary exhaustion.
What do you need?
I would like you to come with me, Sirin.
Well then, let's go. If you're gonna teach me the wonders of the world, it's not gonna happen here.
Indeed. You stay here, Barik. Enjoy life, out of your armor.
Be seeing you, Fatebinder.
Then I'm gonna take you, and
I got it.
maybe
I trust all is well, my glorious Archon. I'm honored you wish to speak.
Ebb bows deeply, smiling as she rises.
What is it you need?
Well, grab your things. I have need of your skills.
Of course. It's about time to stretch the old sea legs.
Okay, so let's replace Barik for now.
I will return to our holdfast at once.
Wait, what? Did I forget to...
I trust all is well. What is it you need? Of course.
I forgot to do this. There we go. Okay, so these two have gotten a level or two while we were gone. So let's deal with this real quick. Okay, for you, these two have been maxed out. Accuracy, armor deflection, or bonus health, will defense. Ability and spell cooldown. Well, let's give her that. And you, my dear. Spell strength and magic defense. This is maxed out. Yeah, let's give her this. Talents. Grants bonus armor while Ebb is wearing light armor in combat. Leads the target into an... Oh wait, I got that. Grave Strike. Cause each enemy in a cone to trigger an explosion of grave light energy. Foes take arcane damage and a portion of their lost health is drained back to Ebb. So it's basically an AoE cone-shaped lifesteal. I like the sound of that. While in combat, Ebb grants herself and nearby allies a bonus to movement speed. That sounds also useful. It would be very useful for Verse at the very least, and me as well. Afflictions applied to Ebb have their durations reduced. I don't believe that we really need Grave Strike, even though it is very good, because if we are going to fight the Voice of Nerat, we are most likely going to fight only him, and not hordes and hordes of Scarlet Chorus soldiers. That's not how it went in my first playthrough anyway, and I was at war with the Scarlet Chorus. Well, you do wear only light armor, so I guess we can give you this. Oh, and then for you. Okay, geez, there's so many talents here. I haven't played with Sirin as much as I would have liked, to be honest, so I don't even know how to play her most efficiently, I think. With a few whispered notes, Sirin's voice unleashes a wave of icy winds that washes over enemies, leaving them frozen. Well, that actually sounds very badass, so we're gonna take that. Okay, nice. What do we have here? Peacemaker, okay. The Binding of Shadows, yep. Okay, so let's give her this staff. Let's see. It increases their DPS. Okay, so now you got Sigil of Life too, so you should be able to learn life spells. Let's see. So... Oh wait. Well, I can't. Ah, shit. Okay, let's take this and see what options do we have. No, we need the sigil. We need an actual Sigil of Life in order to make our own life-based spells. Shit. I've been looking for Sigil of Life for most of this playthrough, and I haven't found it from anywhere. Okay, so I think I'm really have to bring Lantry with me after all, because I'm not sure how we can, because I don't know if we can survive the fight without Lantry. And besides, I'm quite sure that Lantry wants to write down the battle to his chronicles. Might as well.
Greetings, Archon.
Yeah. Stop mumbling
I'll
and
tack homeward. See you there.
and come along. Okay.
Yes.
Now, is there anything else that I want to do? I was thinking about making some better armor for Barik, but I don't think that there's any point to that right now. Because we are about to end the game and everything. Okay, I think that this is good enough. I'm gonna be tanking versus our second melee and damage dealer. Sirin is our semi-support character, giving us buffs, debuffing enemies, and then dealing some damage with some spells that she has. And Lantern is our full-time healer, and throwing pens, because pens are mightier than swords, as they say. Okay, so now to Cacophony and confront with the Voice of Nerat. Bet he's not going to be too happy about the fact that we killed Graven Nash without him. And here we are. Yeah, you better salute. I'm an Archon now, bitches. Okay, but before I go there, I think I'm gonna save at this point, you know, just in case. Okay, let's go. And there he is, on his throne. But it's gonna be my throne very soon.
And with the downfall of Graven Ash, the children of the North threw up their hands and cried of their unending sorrow. Ah, it's you! We were drafting our memoirs of the Civil War's end. We'll be sure to mention your contribution in the footnotes. Not that anyone will read them.
Okay, at least he's not too pissed about the fact that we killed Graven Ash without him or his Scarlet Chorus soldiers.
But you didn't come to discuss history. Kairos' decree looms over our heads and cannot be ignored. Now that you've whetted your appetite on the Archon of War, we hope you're still hungry for a challenge.
Bow to me, you have been a fair ally, and I would prefer not to destroy you. That's not completely true. My character would definitely not mind to kill him. I would also love to spare him and make him my bitch, basically. We don't have to do this unless you always do whatever Kairos insists. I don't wish to fight you. I want to pledge my fealty to you. Nah, fuck that. Lie. I would rather supplicate myself before you, Archon. Attack. I'm done listening to your babble. Bow to me. You have been a fair ally, and I would prefer not to destroy you. Yeah.
Oh, your wrath and ambition is just adorable. Really it is. So too is your stupidity. We have been conquering kingdoms since before your great-grandparents fested in the womb. You will bow to us, child, and you will know your place.
Okay, he doesn't sound amused. I didn't expect that this was going to be easy.
The implications of this culling can't have escaped you. Only one Archon may rule the tiers, and you are nothing if not one of us. You understand what must happen next.
The smoke escaping his mask suddenly recedes. As if sucked by a great inhalation, he taps his scepter to the side of his head with a resounding thump. We don't have to do this unless you always do whatever Kairos insists. I guess I could give him one more chance, and if he doesn't submit to us, then we just have to fight. We don't have to do this unless you always do whatever Kairos insists.
When the orders involve slaughtering our rivals, then yes. Yes, we do. So young, so naive. The Overlord's demand is a blessing, not a burden. It is an invitation for the strongest to rule the world undivided, undivided, undivided!
Okay, I think he's losing it, folks. The Voices clenches his fist. Emerald smoke pours from their wrapping. You hear the voices in your head. For once, you don't think that the Archon's mental babble is intentional. He seems more unfocused and distracted than usual. Insufferable upstart. We will see this one flayed and put on display before our armies. Too dangerous, perhaps, but a Fatebinder no longer, and something must be done after all. Can't allow power to go unchecked in these times, especially under the Overlord's scrutiny. A pity. A pity, in fact, a real pity, because potential should be nurtured, not wasted all the same. We'll see if we can't salvage something from this mess, some fringe benefit, something to feed us, bind us, make us whole. Okay, he has totally lost it. It goes on, and you fight to suppress it. I don't wish to fight you, I want to pledge my fealty to you. Nah, I'm not gonna lie about it either. I'm done listening to your babble.
The Voices has a lot of shit to square. My sisters, for starters. But he's still... well, the Voices. Are you sure you don't want to take a breath and think this through?
Wait, I thought you wanted to kick his ass. Hesitation? This isn't the verse I know. Is this where you betray me verse? Your input is singularly useless here, stand down. Would it be a problem if I fought the Archon? Hesitation? This isn't the verse I know.
I don't waste a lot of time worrying about consequences, but this might be our last chance to think about what exactly we're about to do.
Listen to her, Fatebinder. She shows wisdom beyond her years.
The Voices of Nerat is a terrifying, centuries-old mastermind, and neither of us have been around as long as him. That point seems worth emphasizing. I really hope you understand that he's going to hurt us.
Oh, I wasn't doubting that one bit. I was
It's
counting on it.
true. We promise.
Oh yes, I was counting on that, buddy.
If you're up to it, then I'm with you. I've killed my share of gang bosses, and it doesn't take a genius to know when a leader is flagging and needs to be replaced. No offense, Archon.
She glanced at the Voice of Nerat and frowns.
None taken, wretched girl. We have never been more proud of you than at this moment. You are everything the chorus strives to become.
Well, he can't be charming, alright. Just like verse said. Couches in its wreath of green flames, the Archon of Secrets' bronze head turns to you.
Perhaps not all is lost between us, Fatebinder. Perhaps you would be willing to accept a settlement of our grievances, in exchange for the return of our fury.
Sorry, what? Perhaps you would be willing to accept a settlement of our grievances in exchange. So you want verse back? He would bow to me in exchange for verse? What do you intend to do with her? She is yours then. No, I'm not gonna give her up just like that. There's no version of this conversation in which I give you verse. Well, I'm not planning to give her up, but I might as well ask. He would bow to me in exchange for verse?
Oh no, our dear, ridiculous Fatebinder, no. Not at all. But we shall rescind our territorial claims and remove our chorus from the tiers, leaving the particulars of this peninsula's governance to those remaining. The tiers will be entirely below our notice.
Ah, I see. I see. What do you intend to do with her?
Invite her into our cacophonous hole, of course. Worry not for her, for we shall envelop her in familial understanding. Your sacrifice to our holy cacophony.
The Archon's words pile atop of one another, teetering on the brink of collapse into meaninglessness.
I've never seen the Voices get like this. It's like he's fractured around the edges. I know it sounds crazy, but if you gave him what he wanted, I bet he couldn't take it.
Right. But don't worry, Verse. I wasn't even considering to give you to that monster over there. There's no version of this conversation in which I give you verse.
Sorry, Voices. Looks like I found a new Archon to follow.
Shall we end his miserable existence together, Verse? I think I can take him, but only if you are with me. Yeah, nah, this makes us sound a bit too weak. Shall we end his miserable existence together, Verse?
Sounds like a plan to me, boss. I'll sleep a lot better knowing there's one less parasite in the world.
Our little spy is right about one thing, you know. You're going to die, screaming. But your awareness will live for eternity, suffering within our magnificence.
In Scarlet Chorus tradition, I challenge your rule. In justice's name, I have come to execute a pest. Now we go with this. In Scarlet Chorus tradition, I challenge your rule.
And you think the Horde will follow you that easily?
Yes.
1,000 howling mobs will rally around a fledgling Archon whose power and deception belies mediocrity?
The voice's speech wavers as he notices the armed recruits closing in on his position.
Come to us then. We are Legion, and you cannot stand against us all.
Wait, I'm gonna only fight against you, right?
Come, gather around and watch us destroy the Fatebinder.
Oh yes, we are.
I'm not here.
Yes, we are gonna fight against him alone. Okay. Okay. I go ahead and stun him. Verse. Put him to flames. He has no special buffs or anything. Or resistances or stuff like that. Now, let's see, what do I want? Let's go with this, and what was this again? Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Let's start very aggressively. Yeah, and you buff Verse.
Here to make friends.
Okay, and Skewer. And then we
Had
Sunder.
enough of us. How about a little more?
Oh, he made the fragment of Amelia. Amelia. Oh yeah, that's Amelia, the Graven Ash's daughter whom we brought here and then he killed. Where's her corpse? It's either this. Yeah, it must be this one here. You sick son of a bitch. Verse, go and attack
You got it.
Amelia instead. And drop ends. Okay, the game continues freezing when he does that, when he does his cool spell thingies. That's a bit annoying. Luckily these fragments are not that powerful. Trust.
Harsh word.
Try to knock her down. Let's see. Sunbird. Try to buff all of us. We go here and then do that.
Dodging is so unfair!
Oh yes, indeed, it is.
Pity,
A massive
We
knockdown
want
like
you
that.
inside us.
Okay, that sounded so wrong. That sounded very, very wrong. Jesus, Nerat. You buff everyone's
Enjoy
damage.
this as much as I do.
I'm stuck.
Okay, Amelia is down. Another Eternal Flame. Try to knock
You
him down.
How is this even possible?
What? The fact that you're on fire? Take a potion. And then we... what happened to us? Are we... I think we are confused.
Not built
Shit.
for this sort of violence.
We are never alone.
And that's 100 blood. Okay, and her corpse is there. Disappear, Lantry. Try to stun the voices, please.
On it.
Make him bleed.
Squirrely bastard. bastard, aren't you?
Okay, verse. Focus on 100 blood. And you. Let's freeze them.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass!
Didn't work on voices, but I didn't expect it to. At least 100 blood can't do anything for a while. Ignite your weapons in flames. Okay, Landry, heal yourself. And who should get a seal? Actually, let's just drink a potion. Buff verse. Another flaming arrow.
No!
And you, my dear, this is AoE, so yeah, it's a once per encounter. Arcane damage. Okay, let's do that.
You're going to have to kill all of us!
No!
That's a very cool effect, but every time he does that, the screen freezes for a couple of seconds. Apologize for that, folks. Not really anything I can do about that right now. Try to knock him down. That never seems to work. Another Emilio. Okay. Now let's. I don't think I should do this. Well, he is badly injured, so might as well. Oh, I think I misclicked. There. Throw pants.
Use your flesh. The mind.
Where are you going? Yes, I think I.
If you think it will help.
I think I misclicked there. There we go. Give me a seal. And then give us some heals.
That's it. Bleed for us. Want to know a secret?
Oh shit. Oh, we are confused again or something. Heal me quickly.
As you command.
Oh, she's attacking Sirin now. You son of a bitch.
This weapon is entirely worthless.
Son of a bitch. Can I move? Yes, I can. Attack him. Verse. Switch positions with the enemy. Lantry. Actually, do you have potions? Yes, you. Yeah, yes, you have, but you are knocked down. Buff. I don't know.
Had enough of us.
Another 100 blood.
How about a little more?
I wonder if this fight would have been easier if I hadn't brought Amelia and 100 blood here. And this was a waste, that spell, and it was once per rest too. Do I have any knockbacks? Prone, dazed.
I need healing.
Go away. Yep, drink a potion, a big one. Good. Then let's freeze the enemies here. We have a seal. Yes, we have a seal. Give a seal to Verse. Good. And Voices is about to die.
Not a problem, boss.
Take that and
You got it.
take care of 100 blood. We should be able to take him down.
Right.
Then Sunder.
Bleed out, you little shit!
Okay, and Verse. Let's finish him off.
Not a problem, boss.
Throw pens.
As you command.
That attack didn't work.
That's Censor. Oh yeah, then Censor, she was at the Burning Library. Okay. Okay, Verse, come here. Take down sensor.
Clean out, you little shit!
Never mind.
You... you delightful little surprise. We've had our fun, haven't we? But all good things have their end.
He coughs, expelling a gout of green flame from his helmet.
You've defeated us, but Kairos is coming. The armies of the North march on the tiers to claim your magnificent head. There is nothing you can do.
Well, I can cast edicts. A crack runs along the edges of his helmet, mouth forming a mockery of a smile. Then we need a distraction or a reprisal. This makes no sense. The tiers are united, and in Kairos' name. I'm not the Overlord's enemy. I will crush them beneath my heel. What would you recommend? We're gonna ask him advice at this point. I will crush them beneath my heel.
We believe you will.
Do you now?
But you'll need something more. Something convincing. A first strike against the Overlord. It needs spectacle. Don't mind our flair for the dramatic. We were an artist before we were an Archon. We applaud you. You have the strength to visit horrors upon your enemies. But we enjoyed that so. Such promise. Such potential. I only wish.
The voice of Nerat slumps to the ground and speaks no more.
No! Not like this! We were so close!
And he drops some loot. Is he truly dead? Can I hope that the monster that tormented me will never torment another?
Good riddance, asshole. Shouldn't have screwed with me and my sisters.
She kicks the smoldering pile of ash and rags.
So much knowledge within that hive of a creature. If Nerat weren't such a wanton monster, I'd almost shed a tear for his passing. Just think of how many tomes his minds could have filled. Though I suppose most of it would have been sketches of torture and fornication.
Yeah, most likely. Okay, what about the rest of you? Okay, you're just gonna leave. Hey, aren't you gonna swear fealty to me? Or what? Well, let's pick up these. So we got Gentle Touch. Annihilation plus 75% to critical damage multiplier. On weapon crit, start bleeding, and sharp plus 5% hit precision. The voice of Nerat's curved and serrated blade is elegant in spite of its wicked appearance. Considerable effort has gone into the uniformity of each of the tooth-like notches, suggesting the devotion and intentionality of a true artist. All the same, merely holding the blade overwhelms you with the reality that this instrument has caused suffering on an unimaginable scale. This sword's name would suggest mercy and restraint, but it would be mercy to strike a victim down at once, and restraint would only prolong suffering at the tip of this blade. Better to deliver death quickly than with a gentle touch. Okay, and then we got Final Scream. It's a one-handed mace, I think, a club. Let's see. Blast of Confusion. On weapon crit, damage 18 to 24 random base damage. Random damage, okay. So I guess the damage type is also random. Arcane, Fire, Chaotic, and so on. Artifact ability. Blast of Confusion. Raise Final Scream into the air and unleash a chaotic explosion of energy. All nearby enemies are pushed back, dazed and confused. That sounds very powerful, alright. duration of affliction scales with the final scream's renewal. This scepter has been wielded by the Voice of Nerat, and by all accounts has never known a second owner until now. Who crafted such a monstrous weapon is a matter of speculation, and it isn't beyond possibility that the Voices himself was responsible in some bygone era. Rumors circulate that the screaming mouth at the head contains the agonized howls of the Archon's family, who he tortured to death in the early years of Kairos' dominion as an act of fealty. The earliest mentions of Final Scream came from a chronicler who attended many of the public executions the Voices hosted. After a prolonged interrogation session, the Voices would finish his work by unveiling his scepter and bashing in the skull of his victim. Other accounts tell that when the Archon of Secrets rooted out treachery in the Empire, he would have Final Scream delivered as a gift, really a warning, to the household of the offender. Within the fortnight, he would pay the traitors a visit to retrieve his property, which often included members of the family. Some have interpreted this behavior as an invitation for the guilty to flee and grant the Voices the thrill of the hunt. The open eyes and mouth reveal a core of the Archon's signature green flames, which yet smolder with some semblance of his fractured awareness. So is he dead or is he not dead? I guess we never truly know. You are quite the Final Scream. That's right. And verse, I think that you... Well, you do have Harm's Way and Broken Maw, but let's see. I think it's only fitting to give one of these weapons to the verse. And for us... Should I take the Scepter? Let's see what it looks like at the very least. Looks cool, alright. And this?
This'll be fun!
Yes, very. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna hold on to this. I don't think giving this to Verse is... Well, let's give it. It doesn't really matter because the game is about to end anyway, and there's not going to be much, if any, battle. But what I want... Oh yeah, there was this hidden stash. There was just a scroll, a hide, and an elixir of quickness. Such a treasure. But anyway, where did the Scarlet Chorus people go? You are my bitches now. So... Most of the chorus has gone already. It didn't take long to see who was going to come out on top. Not many chorus stayed to fight over the stuff left behind. Must be my lucky day. Okay, so you guys are with me then. To his credit, the Voices sure knows how to make an exit. Well, it was rather flashy, alright.
Sorry, I can't.
Most of the chorus has gone already. The Beastmen have stayed, apparently. Okay, I'm not sure if we are going to get the ending that I'm wishing to get here, but let's see. Okay, let's go back to our spire. I'll run faster. Okay, let's go back to our mountain spire. Issue an edict upon the Northern Kingdom. Okay, so we are gonna strike first. Oh, and Verse wants to talk to us. Fatebinder. I never thought that anyone could get the jump on the Voice of Nerat. He outlasted most of his enemies and ate the others. He was this great, bottomless thing. I just assumed that he would be around forever. And now he's dead. It's hard to believe, really. I'm happy, but he also gave me this life, this name. I hated him, but he was incredible. An artist. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm impressed. You have exceeded my low expectations. Do you think the Voices is really dead? If we are being honest with each other, I have my doubts. The Voices could seem 1,000 steps ahead of anyone. I can only imagine that he had something planned for his death. Some contingency. Contingency, I don't know. It could be so complex that we might never recognize it if we saw it. It might not even happen in our lifetimes, if we are lucky. Okay, do we have any new questions?
What do you need?
Well, that's kinda late to ask this question. What do you think of those who defy Kairos' authority? You learned a thing or two about fighting the Scarlet Chorus. Care to a duel? No time for that. I want to ask about our travels. Well, let's see what we can ask.
What did you have in mind?
What do you think of our present circumstances? Well, it falls to us to decide which of the Archons is fit to rule the tiers, and we already know. I guess that means killing off the rest, getting them to bow or bending the knee yourself. I would pick anything but that. Zigzagging around the tiers, pissing off authorities as we go. I suppose there are worse ways to occupy one's time. Any particular reason you have chosen to travel with me? Well, she was ordered to at first. What do you think of our travel companions? Anyone in particular? Well, let's start with your brother, Barik. He's, well, I'll give you some due credit. He's more complicated than he looks. He's still an intolerant and unapologetic bastard, but that's more his business than mine. Okay, Lantry. I've been meaning to ask you about him. Lantry is talkative, reads when he isn't writing, and brings as much to the battlefield as a sick bird. Hey, don't talk like that. He's been our main healer ever since we recruited him. The warriors at your side shouldn't suffer from Elder's ache in their sword arm. You would be better served by putting him out of his misery. We need him, and that's all you need to know. Understood. You got something in mind you are using him to accomplish? Then by all means, let him tag along. But don't expect me to keep him alive. If he's pulling his weight somehow, feel free to clue me in, because I'm not seeing it. Verse. He has been healing you in every combat and battle we have been in, and you can't see it? Ah, Verse. Silly girl. What do you think of Killshin Shadow? I've been watching her fight. She's fierce in a way that the Scarlet Chorus could use to our advantage. We have tried to conscript beastmen in the past, but the results have been less than successful. In truth, the results have been ugly. It's tough to capture something that a net won't hold. As often as not, we either have to talk her kind into conscripting, or murder enough of them that only the weak are left. And Ebb? It's easy to respect someone who brings that much passion to a battle. Even so, when she gets to talking about pushing Kairos out of the tiers, she makes me want to carve my opinions on the matter across her back. Okay, and Siren? Take this in the spirit in which it's intended. If I had her kind of power at that age, the last thing I would do is take orders from you. Okay, fair enough. You may think you are leading her around, but it might be the opposite. Would any of us even know the difference? All I need to know about Siren is that she scares Kairos. That pretty much says it all. Okay, back to my previous questions.
Go ahead, Fatebinder.
Anything else I want to ask? Considering your comments about Ebb and how she dislikes Kairos, I assume that you're not a fan of people who defies Kairos' authority. The Tiersman can either fight or submit to Kairos' peace, and only one of those options captured my interests. I suppose I appreciate when they go down fighting. If they did otherwise, I would need to find another excuse to flay them. They need to understand, whether we unify the tiers under a shared banner or at the bottom of a mass grave makes little difference to you, me or Kairos. That's an interesting view of the conquest. Did you fight at any notable battles? Well, that's an interesting view of the conquest. Did you fight at any notable battles? I spent some time in Asura toward the end of the war. Beastmen ripped my unit apart. We thought they might be working under Cairn's orders, but we never found out for sure. The Scarlet Chorus earned a lot of good intelligence when we tortured those beastmen later on, all thanks to you. Oh, this is one of the conquest decisions. When Chorus soldiers reported attacks by wild beasts who would rumble the earth and bore the name Stonestalker, you helped them hunt and capture many of these deadly fighters. Most were brutish and dumb and whined openly for their alpha. A beastwoman, dark as shadow and from a far more dangerous tribe than theirs. A huntress out for vengeance who had taken them in. Okay. Let's change subject, we'll talk later. Okay, so I guess the only thing left to do is to cast that edict, and then the game should end there. I just hope that we get the ending that I'm really after here, to take over the chorus. But let's see. If not, I can always reload and do it again. The waves of energy radiating from the spire draw you forward, pressing your body and mind to its eager embrace. At the center of this tide, the resonator stands ready to broadcast your voice, echoing your commandments to the farthest reaches of the tiers and beyond. From here, the highest point in all the peninsula, you could, with the sum total of your effort, protect your will far north, past the edge of the tiers, and proclaim your edict as far as the lands of the Northern Empire. Turn to your companions. This probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? Turn to your companions. Any requests? Touch the resonator and concentrate. Mutter something gently, test the resonator. I am the last Archon standing in the tiers. It's time to send a word to Kairos. The conquest is complete. Affirm your loyalty to Kairos and send news of your successful conquest of the Overlord. If we went with this or this option here, either of these two, I think we could possibly get the ending where we stay loyal to Kairos. That's the ending that the game didn't have before the Bastard's Wound expansion for some reason. Relax for a moment, ponder the situation. Turn to your companions. This probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? Or should I just ask requests? Nah, this probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Are you folks ready? Loyalty. So this is it. We have come a long way since Edgerin ruins. Before this, I was nothing important. One Scarlet Chorus killer among thousands, but we are really doing something here. Thanks for letting me tag along. She turns to the edge of the spire, avoiding your gaze. Oh, that's a cute verse. This is new territory for us all. You are the first to strike a blow directly at the Overlord. Make sure it counts. Hope you don't mind if I stand back and take notes. By all means, continue. You have done great things to get here. Just imagine what you could do if you continued on this vein. Show Kairos what we do to tyrants. I'm ready to stand at your side and see it through. No comments from Barik, Kills in Shadow or Ebb. That's a bit disappointing. If I don't show Kairos my ability to cast the edict is more than a one-time thing, the attacks will never stop. This will be an opening strike. Perhaps the tiers will conquer the Northern Empire. The spire awaits your command. Okay, so spire management and edicts. Okay, so we go to edicts. Northern Empire. This is still part of the tiers, right? I mean, the bastard city should be somewhere around here, right? So we got only 2 edicts here. We got the Edict of Fire. And the Edict of Stone. Edict of Stone was really fun. What are these? Some power power, resources, I don't know. It doesn't really matter too much than which one I cast. The Edict of Fire brings the energy of fire to large regions of the world. This generates incredible heat, sometimes flame, as well as strengthening the powers of magic. Well, I don't want to power up the magic. The Edict of Stone leaches magical energy from the sky and living creatures, storing it in the rocks below. This energy can lead to earthquakes and the slow petrification of the living. Well, this sounds more devastating to them, so issue the edict.
The Tears have been conquered, unified at last under a single banner. Your edict brings devastation and ruin to the Northern Empire. Some believe the edict to be Kairos' work. Others hope, or fear, that this edict comes from a new voice. Kairos' forces withdraw from their march upon the Tears, as they are sent into disarray by your edict. United under the Scarlet Banner, the Tearsmen are reborn as your loyal servants, bound to you by fear and shared victory. The Overlord's conquest of the known world has come to a halt, and the whisper of a challenger to Kairos' power slowly spreads throughout the land.
Fuck yes. Your Edict of Stone shakes the ground under the northern capital, a quake that builds in such ferocity that massive sinkholes open under the bustling city, swallowing whole districts. As citizens flee in terror, mages attempt to help but find their arcane powers dampened to the point of uselessness. Even as they cleave to falling structures or run from widening fissures, all wonder why Kairos offers no deliverance. As chaos ensued in the Northern Kingdom, the armies marching on the Tears received an unprecedented order. The armies were to fall back to the capital and ensure the safety of its people from the edict. For the first time in Kairos' great conquest, the armies retreated. Soon questions would be asked in a hushed breath across the lands about what new and terrible power had emerged that could force the hand of the Overlord. You fulfilled Kairos' decree, and all the Tears is now ruled by a single Archon. Your former rivals have either submitted to you or perished, bringing the civil war to a close. In their pride, the disfavored never imagined themselves beaten, especially when their opponents appeared so disorganized. The last remains of the legion dispersed, their general destroyed, their honor broken beyond mending. The scorn that follows their humbled ranks haunts them even in the depths of obscurity. Ah shit, I didn't get the ending that I wanted. The Scarlet Chorus, true to form, were quick to change allegiance once the Voice of Nerat died. They pledged their devotion to you. Oh, so they did join me. Well, the picture didn't really give me that impression. Hoping to gain your favor. In the months following your victory, emissaries of the surviving gang bosses present offerings and totems of fealty, but without a devoted taskmaster to keep them in line, their flimsy power structure collapses, reducing the Scarlet Chorus to a whisper of its former strength. Well, okay, we really should have tried to make the voices submit to us. Otherwise, we couldn't control the chorus. I think that's what's going on. I think I'm going to reload the game and try it again, and see if I can force the Archon of Secrets to submit to us, although it didn't seem like it. Or maybe I should pick that lie option next time. and make him think that he is the leader or something like that, or I don't know. Under your guidance, those who resisted the conquest and sought discontent are vanquished. Their rebellion brought to a decisive end. Any lingering question of who is true ruler of the Tears is answered by your impact on the reconstructed nation. Word of your success spreads beyond the Tears as well. Even the most distant corners of the Empire whisper of the Fatebinder who rose to become an Archon, and an Archon whose intervention shattered the conquest, making way for a new future in the devastated nation. While you manage to unite the Tears under a single banner through conquest, losing the support of the Overlord's armies makes the work of maintaining this order all the more difficult. Loyalties weaken and slip, but you make a point of taking a personal hand in the country's new governance. After time and struggle, the Tearsmen begin to see themselves as citizens of a unified land. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, the earth settles around the Stone Sea, ushering a new age of verdant growth and prosperity. The country may never resemble the glorious realm of Asura, but with new life, many new things become possible. The memory of Cairn as a great force of destruction remains as a monument of inert rock. Most agree that the world is better off without the Archon of Stone, as the people of Asura begin to slowly reclaim the land that was once torn asunder by his power. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, you ensure that humans will once again populate the former realm of Asura. The Stonestalker tribe is gradually pushed out of their new territory, and those who don't resist are enslaved, put to work rebuilding new human settlements. The death of the Radix is a huge blow to the disfavored, and that was not the only big blow. Without the support of the Mage Guild, the Legion finds itself outclassed for the first time and suffers on the battlefield. With the Unbroken all but destroyed, the former citizens of Stalwart threaten to slide into lawlessness. Kairos' forces stationed at the Sentinel stand managed to quell the worst of the uprisings, but peace under the nation's new leadership is resisted at every turn. Graven Ash's daughter is never seen again. When the infant heir of Stalwart resurfaces in the wake of the Voice of Nerat's death, you assign soldiers to the task of her upbringing and education. You often study her from afar and wonder how you can leverage her potential to further your ends. Only time will tell. The Edict of Storms continues to rage across the war-torn remnants of the Blade Grave. Widely treated as an uninhabitable wasteland, the former citizens of Stalwart make for any territory that will have them. They wander the Tears as refugees, their pride and dignity worn down by the same erosion that claimed their homeland. You played the Censor's game and emerged victorious, retrieving the silent archive from the Vellum Citadel. When asked to turn it over to the Voice of Nerat, you did so without question, sending it off to Cacophony with the Censor as an additional gift for the Voices. Well, if only I had knew that before, I wouldn't have done that. By taking the silent archive from its pedestal and disrupting the preservation spell holding the Vellum Citadel in stasis, you caused the collapse of the single largest repository of knowledge in Taratus. The world may never know the true extent of the loss. Well, that sucks. The sages are all but wiped from the Tears. What remains of the hoarded knowledge is vulnerable, as likely to be misused as destroyed. The damage done to the intellectual core of the region is likely beyond reversal. Though small groups of would-be scholars gain influence from time to time, the setback is ultimately too vast to overcome. Without interference from outside forces, the Tyan's Crossing flounders under the control of the Bronze Brotherhood. What was once a thriving center of commerce for the Tears quickly devolves into a lawless town prowled by mercenaries and thugs. Oh yeah, we never really went there to do the main quests. That was mostly because we had the Voice of Nerat gave us at one point two choices, either go to the Burning Library or to the Tyan's Crossing, I think. and I chose a burning library, and the Tyrant's conscience was never brought up again. Which is a shame. Bastard's wound stuff. Reef Taylor's attempts to play doting mother to the wound community prove ineffectual. She tries to establish a sense of discipline and hard work, but her self-doubt sabotages her methods. She never overcomes the suspicion of the rest of the wound. As wound denizens abandon their patrols or listlessly perform chores, life in the settlement deteriorates, pain attacks become more common, and people begin to leave. Oh well, that sucks. Guess I should have picked either Jaspers, the so-called Master of Napping, or the Tightcast, or whatever his name was. Wagstaff. Jaspers and Wagstaff finally find common cause, critiquing Reef Taylor's leadership. Far from uniting them, however, it only further polarizes the settlement, each of the mages moving once again to solidify a base of power from which to claim authority. Okay, guess I screwed that one up. By enacting an edict on vengeance well, you announced your power to the world and showed Kairos' forces what you were capable of. When you defeated their leader and scattered the army before you, it sent the message to Kairos: a new Archon is born. While the edict dissipated, its effect will always be felt as the first true threat to Kairos' rule. The death of Graven Ash means the end of the disfavored. Without the comfort and support of the great general, what remains of the Legion sinks into hopelessness. The Archon's seat is left vacant, and whether or not it can be occupied again is a heated topic. Far from his place of final rest, the Northern Empire mourns its fallen son. Killing the Voices of Nerat spreads the joy of bloody vengeance across the continent. Celebrated as the death of history's greatest parasite, the occasion is marked by all who suffered under the oppression of the Scarlet Chorus. Even in victory, one thought nags you. Though you witnessed his death, you can't help but wonder if the Voices of Nerat is done with you. Tunon the Adjudicator continues to dispense justice from his seat in the Bastard City. He follows the laws you craft to the letter, advising on any of the meticulous changes you lack the time or the patience to draft. Without his aid, the task of keeping order in the tiers would be nigh impossible. Thanks, Tunon. The death of Blade and Mark deprived the world of a most capable murderer. One less bedtime story to scare children is no significant loss, though you can't help but glance at the dark corners of every room and feel as if something is watching you. Blade and Mark will always cast a long shadow on your life. You helped Barik come to terms with the death of the great general. Of all the Northerners who survived the war, he took the loss of the Archon the hardest. After a period of deep mourning, he returns to your service and gratefully continues the work you started together. The soldiers who recognize him remember the Legion and Graven Ash's protection as they would a dream. The blood spilled in the war between the Archons hasn't cooled before Verse comes to you, bored and frustrated by the relative peace. There remain pockets of discord, she tells you, and she aims to bring them in line. All to your glory, of course. As the months pass, reports from the wildest edges of the tiers present a familiar picture. A growing gang of young and disaffected women flock into Verse's banner to learn the arts of murder. Though it acts largely without your input, the Kalos Sisterhood becomes synonymous with your wrath, a nightmare storm of furious brands and burning arrows. Sometimes you wonder if Verse serves your interest at all, or whether a bloody reckoning awaits the two of you. I hope not. As surely as you liberated Lantry from the depravities of the Scarlet Chorus, you unshackled him from the weight of history. No longer fixated on the preservation of the work of the sages, the scribe instead sets himself to recording the present with renewed vigor. Becoming your most persistent biographer, even if some describe his work as more propaganda than history. Lantry increasingly turns to scavenging lesser pages of the Chronicle for writing material, making of the sages' histories palimpsests of your rising history, and your inevitable confrontation with the Overlord. If Lantry's scrutiny sometimes disconforms you, his predictions for the future deduced with the experienced eye of a student of history, rob you of more than one night's sleep. Ebb remains in your company, where she seeks out promising recruits among your supporters. After recognizing some obvious talent, she takes on a team of apprentices in a new school of would-be tidecasters. Though she often jokes that the school is bound to fail with her at the helm, her students think otherwise, as do the many dozens of hopefuls who come begging for her tutelage. With no desire to remain in the company of humans, Killshin Shadow returns to the wilderness and seeks out her own kind. She discovers a haggard community of beastmen who abandoned the realms of Haven and Asura, only to be enslaved by Kairos' forces. Out of this rabble of defectors, she forges a tribe, their nomadic ways respecting no established border or law. They raid villages and caravans when possible, glutting on the spoils and boasting of their severed ties with the human world. Though a large bounty follows in the tribe's wake, no human can survive the hunt for its leader. Sirin grows quiet over time, speaking little and foregoing her songs as she distances herself from your military. One day she simply walks out of camp and makes for the wilderness of the Tears. Rumors reach your ear that Sirin has occupied an abandoned mountainside temple, her vow of silence drawing a small group of respectable followers. You leave her in peace. Okay, I was not expecting that from Sirin. Though you once professed loyalty to Kairos, popular belief holds that the world cannot support two overlords, and you now represent a threat to the established order. This leaves your future in question, with but one certainty: when Kairos retaliates, you will be ready. From your perch atop the ancient spire, you can see hints of the Northern Empire just beyond the mountains. At your command, horns shout a triumphant cry across the valley, heralding the end of one long campaign and the beginning of another.